Let me tell you a little story. In a quiet village nestled between two towering mountains, there lived an old man known for his wisdom. He had seen many things in life and was sought by villagers for guidance. One day, a young boy approached him with a troubled heart. "Grandfather," the boy said, "I struggle greatly. I feel like two forces are fighting inside my mind. One part of me wants to do good things like help others, work hard and be kind, but the other part of me wants to be lazy, selfish, and sometimes hurtful. Why is it so hard to be good?" The old man smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story. Inside each of us," the old man began, "two wolves are constantly battling. One wolf represents all that is good. It is kind, hardworking, disciplined, honest, and filled with love and hope. The other wolf is everything bad. It is lazy, greedy, full of anger, jealousy, and excuses. Which wolf wins, grandfather?" The old man leaned in closer, his voice soft but firm. "The wolf you feed. The wolf you feed. The wolf you feed." How do we break these bad habits? Do you guys remember in episode 1 when I spoke about the 2 tables in the book Atomic Habits, which I have right next to me right now actually? In this book, there were 2 tables given on how to break a bad habit and how to start a good habit. When we're doing these 2 things, we have to keep in mind that these concepts are not just supposed to be embedded into your head. You can tweak them to fit your needs. Let's first talk about how to break a bad habit. Now, in the book, they mentioned 4 points, and I said this in the first episode as well. The first point I mentioned was to make it invisible, the second point, make it unattractive, the third point, make it difficult, and the fourth point, make it unsatisfying. Now, in the first point, making it invisible basically means that whatever your bad habit is, make it vanish from existence. For example, if you think playing too much video games is a bad habit, best thing to do, take your console or take your laptop, shove it in a cupboard, switch it off, put it somewhere where you'll have trouble finding it. At the end, when you do want to play, you have to go through all that effort of taking it out, and that just ruins your motivation to do it. Now, that doesn't mean that you cut it off completely, but that also helps you moderate the amount you play video games. See, I used to struggle with this problem of playing video games, and all I basically did, I shifted the console and I put it into a different room, aka my parents' room, and there I wouldn't be able to play. And whenever I wanted to play, I'd have to disconnect the whole console and put it in the room I wanted to play in. Now, the second point is to make it unattractive. This refers to changing how you think about your bad habits by focusing on their downside. In Atomic Habits, James Clear explains that habits are driven by craving. So if you can change your perspective and make the habit seem unattractive, you'll reduce the craving to indulge in it. For example, if you want to stop smoking, you should focus on how smoking affects your health, ruins your breath, and drains your money. By associating the habit with negative outcomes, you reduce the appeal of engaging in it. Now, in the third point, we talk about making it difficult. This step involves adding friction to the process of performing the bad habit, which basically means making it harder to do. In Atomic Habits, James Clear suggests that the more effort it takes to perform a habit, the less likely you are to follow through. This is because we are naturally wired to follow the path of least resistance. Your brain doesn't like doing work, and anything which gives it dopamine without having to do work will be the automatic habit you constantly do. Make the habit unsatisfying by adding immediate negative consequences to it. James Clear explains that we are more motivated by immediate rewards and punishments than by delayed ones. If a habit becomes unsatisfying, you're less likely to continue it. You could introduce a form of accountability. For instance, if you don't stick to your plan of going to the gym, you might have to pay a friend or donate to a cause you don't like. We clearly don't want to give money to our friends, so we are more likely to do the habit if this punishment is associated with it. This makes the bad habit immediately unsatisfying and adds a social cost to failure. So it basically ruins your reputation if you don't do it. Now that I've explained these 4 points to you, you're probably wondering, well, this episode was titled something completely different than what you're explaining, Arius. I mean, yeah, I did call this episode The Jail and the Kingdom. Why did I call it that? If you're trapped in that loop of constantly performing bad habits and you're unable to break out of it, you are basically in jail. You don't have the freedom to think for yourself, because your brain does the thinking for you. You see maybe that video game controller which you keep picking up. You see those cigarettes on your table every day which you're trying to quit. And every single day your environment controls your behavior. And it also controls your habits. So you're basically under an influence of the things around you. That isn't freedom. But when you break out of the jail, you have freedom. I like to use the kingdom for the good habit. The kingdom is where royalty stays. And if you want to reach that royalty point, you have to form good habits in your life. So when you form good habits in your life, you reach that financial freedom stage of your life. And in that case, you can start investing and becoming that person who is a part of the kingdom. I talk about making it invisible. I talk about making it unattractive. I talk about making it difficult. I talk about making it unsatisfying. These 4 points, this is all you need to break a bad habit. It's not more complex than that. People on YouTube will probably tell you, you got to do this. Oh, you got to wake up every morning, go outside in your balcony, look at the sun, and then your bad habits will suddenly magically disappear into thin air. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't want this video to just waste your time and make you do things which are just external. They're not related to your habits. It's just going to distract you from your main goal and focus.
Oh wait, I forgot a point.
Your environment matters a lot. The environmental triggers which you get is completely linked to the habits you do. For example, if you see a bag of candies outside your room every single day, you're going to see the candies, you won't even want to eat them, but you'll see the candies and be like, I should have one. You weren't even thinking about candies before that. You weren't thinking to yourself, maybe I should try a chocolate. It's because you saw it, you got the cue to eat it from your environment, and you ate it without even wanting to. Prepare your environment to cater to your good habits. If you want to play badminton every single day, keep your racket in a place where you know you're going to pass by a lot. And so whenever you see the racket, you remember, oh, I was supposed to play badminton today. Your brain will basically feel bad for not doing it.